fix it? All right, Tony, go ahead.
Good evening. Welcome to the Finance Committee meeting of the Trumbull Town Council. I'd like to stand for a moment of silence and pledge allegiance, please. Mark, could you take the roll, please?
Dorsey. Cinto.
Here.
Thomas Whitmore. Bather.
Here.
John Foreman.
Here.
Here.
Mary Isaac. Yeah.
Councilman Sather, could you bring resolution TC 30-161 to the floor, please?
Sure. Resolution TC 30-161, be it resolved that Nancy Walkley be and the same is hereby appointed as Zoning Board of Appeals alternate member for a term and extending to the first Monday of December 2025.
Should your address be on here? She's here. No, I know she's here, but on the resolution or no? Doesn't matter? Okay. All right, just asking. Miss Walkley's here, right? Come on down.
In front of you? Or?
No, right there. Right there. That's good. Could you please?
The button at the bottom of the mic.
Just say your name, your address, and your party affiliation, and why you want to be involved, that kind of stuff. Just like a
Okay,
little summary.
all right.
Okay.
I am Nancy Walkley. I live at 124 Imperial Court in Trumbull, and I am a registered Democrat. And having recently retired, when called upon, I decided it's time to give back to the town I've lived in for decades, and that is why I want to be on the Zoning Board of Appeals.
Does anybody have any questions?
Mr. Chairman, I know I'm not part of the committee,
It's okay.
but I just would, Nancy's not going to toot her own horn, but I've had the privilege of working with Nancy for, 26 years since I've been an attorney, and she has been an underwriting counsel for the major title insurance companies in the state and is one of the most knowledgeable land use and real estate attorneys that I've come across in my career, so she would be an asset to the position.
Okay. There you go.
That's it?
Yes.
You.
Any questions? Obviously not. All in favor? Opposed?
Mary?
I think we're, Mary, hang on.
We do this by unanimous?
Oh, I forgot Mary's on there. Okay. Unanimous consent, thank you. Okay, that's, motion passed. Okay, good. Ms. Wolf, could you bring resolution TC 30-163 to the floor, please?
Yes, Mr. Chair. Resolution TC 30-163, be it resolved that $11,100 is hereby appropriated from the retained earnings to 211-00000-581888 capital outlay.
Second.
Thank you. Come on down. I guess just they're kind of the same count, but just do one and then we'll do the other one.
Okay.
Okay?
Sure.
Go ahead.
So Jay Cunningham, Finance Chairman of the Golf Commission. So in front of this board tonight is the appropriation from the golf course retained earnings to the capital outlay for to fund a shut-off at the pump house in our water metering station as a requirement from Aquarian Water Company. They were out there doing some work for a malfunctioning meter and noticed that there was no shut-off at the meter location, and we have to fund that, and it came after the budget process. So we're seeking the appropriation.
Was there ever a meter? I mean, a shut off on there?
No, there wasn't. So we've been out there
Oh,
to
really?
replace meters before, and this time. it was
Anybody
fine.
have any questions? Oh, Mr. Massaro?
Hi, Mr. Cunningham.
Hello.
Just a quick question.
Sure.
I know the course has seen a lot of traffic, so I assume there's a lot of revenue. Is there any line item in your budget for maintenance that could cover this? Or do you have to go into your reserve?
Well, we have a pretty big capital project budget this year. You know, we were doing a maintenance, addition to the maintenance barn, and we're doing a solar project. So we have quite a few items on there that's pretty tight in terms of what we budgeted for. These two items that are on here tonight were not. So we have to come now, and better to fund it now and ask for permission later, I guess.
And then so there was never a need for a valve before. Is it because of a new regulation or just like for Macquarian, what was the explanation if they've been out before?
Well, I would think of it as like your house, right? You have a shut off at your house that's, by the meter or actually on the house side. Same principle. The shut off is out in the street, and we don't have the shut off by the meter.
Yeah, most houses have two shut-offs.
Right.
One at the front, one at the end, so they can take the meter out.
Correct.
So they don't have one there. That's crazy.
That's exactly right.
Unbelievable. Okay. Anybody else have any more questions? Does Mary have any questions? You okay? Okay. Okay. Can we do this by unanimous consent? Anybody? Mary, you all set? Okay. Okay. We're all set. Thank you. That's the first one.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, can you read Resolution TC 30-164?
Certainly,
Please.
Mr. Chairman. Resolution TC 30-164. Be it resolved that $16,600 is hereby appropriated from the retained earnings to 211-0000581-888 capital outlay.
Second.
Okay, so along the same lines as the first request, this is actually the furnace in the maintenance barn. It's a 25-year-old plus unit that needs to be replaced, and the heating and air conditioning guy was out there, and it's basically not functioning. We need to get it replaced, obviously, before the cold weather sets in and the winter work begins in the maintenance barn.
Any questions? Anybody? No? Does Mary have any questions? Are we okay with unanimous consent? With Mary?
Okay with unanimous consent?
Okay, good. All right. We're all set then. Thank you. Thank
Thanks,
you very
Greg.
much. Okay. And TC 30-165 is being withdrawn. That's it, right? Okay. What'd I say? It says 65 on here.
Oh, sorry.
Huh?
I was looking at the wrong.
Okay. All right. All right. So if that's it, we'll, a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Okay, thank you.
Somebody second.
Second.
Meeting first.
This meeting is cursed. Yes.
I'm having a bad. Go.
Good evening. Welcome to the September 2nd edition of the Legislative and Administrative Committee. If you'll all please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence. Madam Clerk, can you please take the roll?
Joseph Pifko,
Here.
Mike Buswell,
Here.
Steve Lemoyne,
Here.
Veronica Lenzen. Here. Jason Marsh,
Here.
Ashley Gaudiano, Tony Cinto. Here. Nicole Satin.
Thank you. With that said, Ms. Levson, can you please bring Resolution TC 30-126 to the floor?
Sure. Resolution TC 30-162, be it resolved that the submission of the funding application for the Local Prevention Council grant is hereby authorized, and be it further resolved that Vicky A. Tesoro, First Selectman, is hereby identified as the individual authorized to sign the application and all subsequent amendments, reports, and related documents in order to administer and implement the project.
Do we have a second? Thank you. Oh, hi. Please state your name and tell us.
Gary, Project Director,
And turn your microphone on.
with the B. Sorry. Melissa McGarry, Prevention Director, TPOD Trumbull's Prevention Partnership. We're the local prevention council.
And can you tell us a little bit about this?
Yeah, this is the Local Prevention Council funding from the Connecticut Department of Mental Health and Addiction Services that it is administered by Catalyst CT, the hub, which is the Regional Behavioral Health Action Organization for Region 1. This funding is $5,662.90. The application allows us to apply for 2 years. TPOD has been the Local Prevention Council since 2017. In past years, the state dictated that the money was designated for coalition building and vaping prevention. This year, they're allowing us to designate our substances, and we are intending to use the money for underage drinking prevention and nicotine prevention. So it funds a number of activities that TPOD manages both in the community and the schools. Things like Red Ribbon Week, which we run in both middle schools, the 9th grade forum, which is all 9th graders and their parents or caregivers attend. We plan to use the funds for bag checks at Trumbull High football games, which have been really successful, as well as some support for the Trumbull High post-prom, police officers doing compliance checks, both nicotine and alcohol, at our vendors in town, as well as our education campaign on safe storage to reduce youth access.
Okay, thank you very much. Are there any questions from the floor, please?
Just want to offer thanks to you and TPOD for all the work that you do. It does make an impact on our community. I have 4 kids who've come up through the school system. Last one's still in high school, so I've seen firsthand the work that you guys do, and thank you very much for spearheading that.
Thank you for your support.
Yes, thank you very much. And what is Red Ribbon?
That is the 21st to the 24th of October. It aligns with their October advisory. So we do lessons both in the classroom that are around, mostly around trusted adults and refusal skills, which is age appropriate for middle school.
Great, thank you very much. Hearing no more questions. Any more questions? No? All right, hearing no more questions, I'll call for a vote. All in favor? Okay, thank you. Mr. Marsh, can you please bring TC 30-166 to the floor, please?
Certainly, Mr. Chairman. Resolution TC 30-166, be it resolved and ordained that the volunteer fireman tax abatement ordinance is hereby adopted pursuant to the provisions of Connecticut General Statutes 12-81W. Full resolution attached. Public hearing, Town Council, September 8th, 2025.
Second.
Thank you. And is there anyone here to speak regarding it? Okay, just state your name and position, please.
Sure. Hello, I'm Brian O'Connor. I'm the Vice President at Trumbull Volunteer Fire Company, #1, or also known as Trumbull Center, so the center department in town. To my left, I have Greg Sanford Andres, the chief of Long Hill. I have my chief, Richard Gregory, from Trumbull Volunteer, Trumbull Center, and President Frank Novak, also from Long Hill. It's an honor to be here tonight, and thank you all for bringing this resolution to the table. First, I really thank you for allowing us the time to present and answer any questions that you may have. Tonight we have obviously the leadership from our fire departments in town. Nichols had a meeting, so the chief of Nichols was unable to make it, and his assistant chiefs were in that meeting with him. You know who we are. We have 3 volunteer fire departments in town. When on scene, we operate as one town fire department. We have a force of all volunteers. We've been, most of the departments in town, it's this year's our department's 100th anniversary. Long Hill and Nichols have already had their 100th anniversaries. The state of Connecticut requires a lot of regulations regarding our volunteer firefighters. We're all certified by the state of Connecticut for firefighting at the same level as you would see in a career organization within the state of Connecticut. Our departments have requirements for training, activities, call volume, so all those are taken into account when we offer a tax abatement to our active members, right? They have to make a certain percentage of calls and training and that sort of thing. Last year, the latest census actually in the state of Connecticut in 2017, the volunteer ranks had decreased by 62%. So the ranks of the volunteer fire departments in the state of Connecticut have decreased substantially. And what we're trying to do with this abatement and increasing the abatement for our members is to provide an additional incentive for not only them to stay in town, but also for the town to spread some goodwill to our volunteers and thank them for their service that they give day in and day out for nothing, except for an abatement or some other incentives that we offer within our individual organizations. We want to stay as a volunteer town. We don't want to increase or, you know, we want to increase our membership rolls so that we are a volunteer town for the foreseeable future. So we're doing a lot of things as organizations as far as recruitment and retention, and this is one of the huge retention aids that our membership looks to. Costs to live in town, as we all know, have increased substantially. So this is another tool for us to reduce that cost for our individual members by providing them some incentive to reduce their overall property taxes. So we discussed who we are, the state of the current volunteer fire service in the state of Connecticut, and what we're doing. We would appreciate your support in the passage of this legislation so that moves to the full town council for a vote next week. And we're here tonight to answer any additional questions that you may have for us.
I have a question. How many volunteers do you have in town total?
So number of volunteers, I would say, what, maybe 2?
Who are eligible for the abatement or total?
So eligible for the abatement, there's about 50 volunteers that are eligible for the abatement. When it comes to volunteering, I would say that number is probably north of 100 to be on the safe side, or, you know, just an average, I would say.
So are these people from out of town or not property owners or?
So we have people that are out of town, that live out of town that volunteer within our organizations, that do receive a property tax benefit each year as well. And basically what happens is the town of Trumbull writes a check to their town to cover that abatement amount.
Okay. All right. Interesting. Okay. Are there any other questions from the floor? Mr. Marsh.
Brian, thanks for coming tonight. My question is, are we currently in line with other volunteer fire departments around the state? Like, how do we stack up to other volunteer organizations?
So as far as the tax abatement?
Yeah, the tax
specifically?
abatement.
So a lot of our area towns, they all offer an abatement to their volunteers. Currently, Trumbull is at the lowest dollar figure as far as the abatement is concerned. There is one town that doesn't offer an abatement. They offer a retirement package to their volunteer firefighters. We have something similar in our organizations individually. It's not, it's enough to buy maybe a gallon of milk, when we're 65 years old, but it's nothing really meaningful in a lot of ways. And I think that other town that does offer that, it might be a little bit more significant. We don't want to get into that realm.
Understood. Thank you.
Mr. Marsh.
Again, thank you all for your service and what you do for our community. I think the good thing here is that we do have the ordinance on the books already, and it's been on the books for, having learned this today, for over 20 years. Little bit of a snafu in the sense that it was passed by the town council and made its way through the process. It just never found its way into the online code. So it's there and it's actually being used, which is great. I do agree that we should update the figures because of the dollar amounts just aren't in line with today's dollar. So, I think we have the infrastructure in place. It's just kind of correcting the amounts that we abate for the respective. And I think there's one additional, Mr. Massaro, add with this new ordinance, which is providing for folks who have served for 25 plus years on a cumulative basis, and sort of making that a permanent abatement. So, yeah.
Yes, that's something that we added into that ordinance because the state of Connecticut changed the policy. For years, the state of Connecticut had a limit of what a town can provide their volunteer firefighters, and that limit was $1,000. And then that had changed at the state level, and they created that $2,000 limit. And then the $2,000, they offered that as another incentive to keep someone around. Because at the end of the day, the longer that we have someone as a member and as a firefighter, they develop skills and knowledge that a new recruit doesn't have, right? It's the experience that we want to keep on the books. So we're trying to give them an incentive. Hey, don't leave in 20 years, leave in 25 years, or don't leave in 15 years. You only have 10 years to go. And the other aspect of it is I find that volunteerism, right, across the board is down, right? And by offering an incentive to someone to remain in Trumbull for $2,000 to thank them for volunteering their time for 25 years is tremendous. And I think that you have a better opportunity having a member in one of our organizations that was a volunteer for that long to continue volunteering in some aspect within our community, whether it's in the fire department or outside of the fire department.
I agree with you 100%. It would be my hope that this would be a further incentive for residents of Trumbull to join up, because that obviously provides a benefit to us, not necessarily more than above the actual service to the fire department, but living and working in the town is, patronizing the businesses in town and having their families grow up here and be part of the community, I think is also a benefit to the department and to the town.
Thank you.
Are there any other questions from the floor? No more questions. Well, thank you very much for your service, and we appreciate what you do. The fire department, the volunteer fire department, is highly respected in this town. You guys do a great job. We really appreciate it. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
With that said, can we call for a vote to move this? All in favor? Thank you. All right, Resolution TC 30-167. Mr. Buswell, will you bring that to the floor?
Certainly. Resolution TC 30-167, be it resolved and ordained that no cannabis establishment as defined by CGS 21A-422F as amended, may be established in the town of Trumbull. Full resolution attached. Public hearing, Town Council, September 8th, 2025.
Second.
Thank you. Do we have someone to speak to this issue? Mr. Massaro.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The genesis of this resolution and proposed ordinance comes from recent events where the Planning and Zoning Commission of Trumbull passed a further moratorium on cannabis establishments. When I read up on that, I recognized that there was at least one company that was opposed to a further moratorium and had significant interest in coming to Trumbull and opening a cannabis establishment. So when I looked at the statute, I saw that municipalities are given the choice to either prohibit the establishment of cannabis establishments, that's the language from the statute, by ordinance of the legislative body or by the Planning and Zoning Commission. And in my view, the moratorium is a temporary prohibition, and I believe the council has authority to vote on whether to have a full prohibition. And in effect, if we do pass this ordinance, Planning and Zoning won't have to concern itself with the issue and the pressure from outside to have these establishments come in to Trumbull.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Massaro. Are there any questions from the council and committee? No. Okay, I think that clarifies it. Madam First Selectman, do you have a comment?
So thank you, Mr. Massaro, for the resolution. Just to clarify, I have put forward a moratorium for 4 years to Planning and Zoning, which has been accepted by them, and I do realize that somebody did come forward at the last meeting to talk about an establishment here in Trumbull. I don't think we've had any more than one person at this point, but I would support this resolution to further, protect the town, especially our children. This is what really, motivated me to put forward the moratorium. I have worked for years with TPOD, and I thank them for all the work that they've done. But you can't do too much prevention work. So this is just another way of preventing this type of an establishment for coming to Trumbull. So, thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Marsh?
I would agree with the First Selectman. I think that as a town, it would be somewhat disingenuous to prop up and laud an organization like TPOD and then make it easier for a legal dispensary to take root in the town. Personal feelings about that business model aside, I just don't know that the tax revenue that we could possibly generate would outweigh the risk to the community and particularly our young people.
Thank you. Are there any other comments? Well, I couldn't agree with you more, Mr. Marsh. All in favor? Carried. Okay, thank you very much. That concludes our business for the L&A Committee for September 2nd, 2025. Good evening. Can I call for an adjournment?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we're adjourned. Thank you.
My wife is.